Well, with local schools back in session, the big question is if or when COVID cases begin to spike. It's a question on the minds of every parent, teacher, and student. How many cases are at school? But it's a question school districts can't answer because they've been told by the state not to report that data. On Your Side's David Jones explores what's behind that directive and why it might not hold water.
Of our COVID-19 cases, and when I say vast majority, we have somewhere between 15 to 17 cases.
That's Duval Superintendent Diana Green at Tuesday's school board meeting, confirming district schools do have COVID cases, mostly in elementary grade levels. The district began publishing those raw numbers the day school started, listing the affected schools and whether it was a teacher or student involved, but without any identifying factors. But after just one day, the state told the district to shut the dashboard down.
They say their hands are tied and that they can't do it until they receive permission from the state.
Emily Block covers education for our news partners at the Florida Times-Union.
It is a ripple effect, and we believe that those numbers are crucial for public health and safety.
She says state health officials cited a statute that says information reported to the state about diseases can be made public only when necessary to public health.
Duval Schools is arguing that, of course, it applies to public health. So how can we not release this?
When you release information on an aggregate level, you're not disclosing any one person's information.
Dr. Mohammed Reza is a Duval County parent and an infectious disease specialist.
As a parent myself, I want to know what the rate of infection is, or the number of cases in the schools my children may be attending. If a child has been exposed to this virus, they may have mild to no real symptoms, but more and more data is showing they can transmit it to older adults at their homes.
The district says they're working with the state to get permission to begin releasing the numbers again, but no time frame for when that could be expected. David Jones, First Coast News, on your side.